The stage is set in Tampa for the women's Final Four. Hey Cougs, welcome back to another episode of In the Game. I'm Elisha Qazi, and today I'll be breaking down the women's Elite 8 games and giving my thoughts on the Final Four matchups. For the fourth time this season, South Carolina and Texas will face off for a spot in the NCAA championship. South Carolina is 2-1 in this matchup this season after beating Texas in the SEC championship game. The other game has the only number 2 seed left in either tournament, the UConn Huskies taking on the UCLA Bruins. The Elite 8 had some great matchups, with the South Carolina-Duke game being decided within the last minutes of the game. Duke was great defensively, holding South Carolina, a team that averages 80 points a game, to 54 points, but it wasn't enough. When it came down to it, Duke's offense couldn't pull through. The game sent the Gamecocks to their 5th consecutive Final Four. The matchup between UCLA and LSU was a Sweet 16 matchup from last year. UCLA was trying to clinch their first ever Final Four, and LSU was trying to get back to the Final Four after missing out on it last season. Lauren Betts got in early foul trouble, but the Bruins didn't let it shake them. Star guard Flau'jae Johnson led the charge for the Tigers with 28 points, but it wasn't enough. LSU take their 2nd consecutive Elite 8 exit as UCLA makes their first ever Final Four in program history. When Texas took on TCU, everyone was excited to see how they would match up. With TCU's big three of Prince, Van Lith, and Connor combining for 60 points against Notre Dame in the Sweet 16, many thought their dynamic offense would cause problems for Texas. During the game, they only combined for 30, with 17 of them coming from Van Lith. Prince fouled out the game with only 4 points. For Texas, Rory Harmon did a lot of good things in the first quarter, getting 11 points to give Texas a comfortable lead. All-American Maddie Bueckers also played extremely well, ending the game with 18 points and 6 rebounds. The starts for Texas for me were definitely Kyla Oldacre and Taylor Jones, who both held it down in the paint, giving Prince a hard time, making important shots and big blocks. Texas is back in the Final Four for the first time since 2003. The final game of this round was the second meeting between the UConn Huskies and the USC Trojans. This is the second year in a row they had played each other in the Elite 8, but this time USC is without Juju Watkins and UConn has a healthy roster. Raya Marshall stepped up again for the Trojans, leading them with 23 points and 15 rebounds, but no one else seemed to get going for USC. Paige Bueckers led the Huskies with 31 points, now having back-to-back 30-plus point games for the second time in her UConn career. Sarah Strong also played great with 22 points and 17 rebounds. She was their offensive spark in the first half. Sarah also is the second player in UConn history to score over 600 points their freshman year. While Izzy Fudge struggled shooting, she made 2 very important threes that swung the momentum back to the Huskies in the fourth quarter to seal the game. The UConn Huskies are headed back to the Final Four for the 16th time in the last 17 seasons. Looking ahead, the South Carolina-Texas game will definitely be a tense matchup for the SEC teams. Playing each other for the 4th time means both teams are very familiar with each other and know what to expect. I don't think South Carolina have played their best basketball throughout the tournament, and if Texas plays how they played against TCU, it will definitely be a long night for the Gamecocks. But I will never doubt Dawn Stanley and her team. They are more experienced in this than Texas, so it could take them over the edge. UConn vs. UCLA will also be an interesting matchup. Unlike Texas and South Carolina, these teams haven't played each other since the Cayman Islands Classic in November of 2023. Since then, both teams have changed a lot. With Lauren Betts on the inside, the UConn post players may struggle, but with how Paige and Sarah are playing right now, UCLA should be scared. From the beginning, I predicted a South Carolina-UConn final, so that's what I'm going to stick with. Let me know in the comments your thoughts. That's all I've got for today. Happy Women's Final Four, and I'll see you next time. Go Cougs.